This sketchbook has a bit of everything in it. I did portraits, landscapes, animals, and so much more. And I used a ton of supplies. I started the sketchbook with a 30-day portrait challenge. So I remember when I started this challenge, I was very sick. Antibiotic, I had strep throat, all the stuff. I think I had pink eye, strep throat, all of this at the same time. And antibiotics wasn't working, so I had to get a second antibiotic. But anyway, I still tried to continue on. This one was one of my favorites. And I just like this yellow and the skin and the hat. I was really happy with this one. But anyway, so I was doing this 30-day challenge, and I was kind of pleased with this one as well. But I had to stop. I couldn't. I digress. But anyway, I like the way I did her eyes. I had to stop because I wasn't feeling well and it didn't work, but I was happy that I at least tried. I did a video with this one and didn't come back to this book until this sketchbook until 2025. And this one I did with a green colored pencil, and the background was Posca. Here I use my tempera paint sticks that I love and talk about so much. I use those for the background. I think I used paint as well, gouache paint in the background. And then over the top, I used, I believe this was acrylic gouache. It was either gouache or acrylic gouache. I was trying something different. And this page was a page where I had, whenever I had leftover paint, I would put it on this page. Then I went back and added things to it. After doing parts of it, I'm like, I think I see a face here. So let me know if you see it. I added some things to accentuate what I felt was the face. Now this one, I'll see if I can insert some footage. I went to this young woman who took a vacant lot and made it into a garden. And it was my first time going there to visit the garden and to do this little mini class. And it was a lot of fun. Anyway, when I was there, I bought this bouquet and I painted it once I got home. I was pretty pleased with this one. I did it with watercolor. Remember, I was waiting for my car to get repaired. I think I was getting an oil change. Yeah, I was getting an oil change. And so I started doing it with a fine liner, and I wasn't that pleased with the sketch. So then I used the watercolor that I use all the time, and trusty watercolor with me. I know some people who are true watercolor artists hate these, but I love this thing. You see, I use it a whole lot. Anyway, I use that. And then once I got home, I have a lot of scrapbook paper. So I started cutting out these shapes and I just added those on. I just wanted to add to the page. And here you can, on the pages, I decided to start, adding notes and dating things, because some of my old sketchbooks, I forgot what I used and I didn't have the dates. So I'm trying to get it better with that. This, I talk about her channel a lot. Art by Heather. I love her channel because she's so loose, and I just enjoy her channel. She goes with the flow. And so I usually will do a session with her. So this was one of those sessions with her. And this one, I used woodies for this. And I love these because you can add water to them. So I use those for this. And then once I finished, I like the way this came out. And then I wanted to make it pop. So I took a Posca marker and did this outline. Here, like I said, I have a lot of scrapbooking paper. So I wanted to do a collage. And I just started cutting out the shapes. Just freehand cutting the different shapes. And doing this. Here, I use the woodies again. And I don't know if I have it nearby, but I have these gold, different types of gold markers. Let me see if I have it nearby. Because I use so many different, I have so much. I'm sorry, I'm reaching to see. It wasn't, I don't think it was this one. This is a gold Sharpie, but I don't think it was this one. Okay, so I'm back. I don't know which one, but it was one of these. I love these different, this one is a gel pen, and I use that a lot. And these, but I'm not sure which one I use for the accents. And I also use my tempera paint sticks. Okay, my tempera paint sticks. Like I said, love these things. Use them all the time. So that was that. Okay, here I will put his name on the screen. I can't think of it right now, but I was watching one of his videos. He was doing continuous line drawings, so it inspired me to do it, and I wanted to do a page of continuous line drawings with children. That inspired me to do this for a few days. So I have this painting, and I'll pop up in a picture that I have hanging in my living room. And I don't know the artist because it is one of the few paintings that I bought at not directly from an artist. I bought it at I think Home Goods. Anyway, so I was inspired by that, and so I wanted to try some things. So I used my tempera paint sticks after I did the continuous line drawing, and then I added in these circles. Then I tried this one. This one didn't come out. I used tempera paint sticks here. I had an idea, but it didn't come out the way I had envisioned when I added the tempera paint sticks. But I wasn't done there, so I did some more continuous line drawings. Then these are the ones I love. Okay, so I did the continuous line drawings, and I still was, wanted to add something because I was inspired by that picture. And so I added in the watercolor, and I love the way this one turned out. And I like this one as well. This reminds me, and this was not intentional, but this reminds me of like the earth with the trees. I don't know, but I like both of these. This one I used the watercolor as well. This one, the trusty one I use all the time. And I think the accents were with a colored pencil, a white colored pencil. And this one is gouache. Here I use the tempera paint sticks, these tempera paint sticks, and I did the flowers and the vase and everything. And then after that, added in the fine liner. Okay, this was another video that I did. Well, first, this flower I did with my trusty watercolor set and fine liner. I did this while I was waiting on my granddaughter. She was at her ballet class, so I was waiting for her, and I did this. After that, once I was home, or it probably was even another day, I did this. Well, so the page, I felt like it was like, okay, I want to add something to the page. So I did a video with Art by Heather, and she'll put up the pictures and give you time to do them. So that's where these came from. And I used colored pencils. I used temper paint sticks. And I think that was all on these from her. All right, this, I took my granddaughter to the library. It was a new library that we wanted to check out. It was really cute. It had a lot of different little things for them to play with, and it was just a really nice library. So then she picked a book, and after she read the one book, so the entire book, it kept saying, "Don't think of tigers, don't think of tigers." It was a really cute book. Then at the end, on the very last page, it said to, we weren't expecting this either. It said to, okay, now draw a tiger. So of course I had my sketchbook with me, and I had my watercolor. So she didn't even blink. She just quickly made this tiger and added the watercolor. And so she dated it, and I forgot that it was on St. Patrick's Day. But anyway, we had fun that day. All right, this one, I love giraffes. They're my favorite. And so I decided to, I liked using I believe it was these temper paint sticks that I used in the background along with watercolor to do the background. And then over the top of it, I did the giraffe with gouache. And I don't know, I like it. So Walgreens has this, they'll have, you can get prints there, and they'll have this, sometimes they'll send a coupon where you can get an 11 by 14, or they call it poster size, for $1.99. So I'm like, okay, well, let me just check it out and see what it looks like. And so I'm trying to pull it out. Hold on. So then I got a print of it, and I didn't do any kind of color correcting on it. But if I were able to do color correcting, it came out okay. Especially for it to just be a print that I didn't do any color correcting on or whatever. So yeah. Okay, I have a lot of paper bags, and so I cut one. You can see this was a paper bag, and I just used some washi tape to tape it in here. And this I did with oil pastels. This is more giraffes, and the background for this one I use India ink. No, is that India ink? It is. It is India ink. I use these Bombay and India inks. I have a lot, several of them. And so I use those in the background. And then because I like that other, this other one where I did that, so I wanted to try it again, but again with India ink. And then I went over the top with the gouache. And I like the effect of this one as well. This one, I didn't finish this one. My intent was to come back and finish this one, but I didn't. This, daughter and granddaughter and I, we went to see this exhibit. I wanted to see her, Tiff Massey, her exhibit. It was so nostalgic. She had a lot of, she made these life-size, we call them bubbles. Everybody calls them something different, but in our family, we call them bubbles. And it was so nostalgic because I use them on my daughter's hair, and I used them on her hair when she was younger, and my daughter uses them on my granddaughter as well. And then, I wrote about, what happened when we were there. And this, I did just a quick sketch with, I think I used markers for this. I'm not sure, but anyway, this was based on, she did life-size replicas of barrettes, and it was so cute. So that's where this came from. And we had so much fun. We saw her exhibit, and then they had painting in the galleries in the Riviera. Am I saying that right? Diego Rivera. Anyway, we drew in the galleries, and my granddaughter and I had so much fun doing this. And then here, this painting is called The Nut Gatherers, and it was a full circle moment because my grandmother used to take me to this same museum all the time when we were younger, when we were my granddaughter's age. And I used to love this painting. At the time, I thought it was huge. Now I think it's so small. Anyway, the reason I love this painting was because I couldn't believe that someone could actually paint something that looked so real. And so I was just, yeah, I used to be in such awe of this painting. So it was a full circle moment showing my granddaughter that painting. Here, I taped off the page with washi tape, and then I used, again, my tempera paint sticks. I know I talk about them all the time, but I love them. And I did these too. This one was done with gouache. This one was Woody's, and it did not come out the way I anticipated. Here, I saw something on Pinterest, and I was inspired by a pattern or something I saw, and I just took the tempera paint sticks and did this. This one was a combination of crayons, watercolor, colored pencils, and Poscas. I love this page. My granddaughter and I we decided we wanted to do the wax resist. So we drew a fish with crayons, and I don't know where her picture is. And then we used watercolor over the top, and I added details with. Okay, so I wasn't kidding when I said I used so many different art supplies. So for the details on the fish, I used, I'm not sure which color it was offhand now, but I have these Prismacolor markers, Prismacolor Premier marker. I used either this Uniball Signal gel pen. I either use this or a Posca marker. Okay, so for this one, I have different stencils. I'm digging while I'm talking to you all. So I have different stencils, and I wanted to, just try using them. So this is the stencil, and it peels. I don't know. I got this on sale, and I wanted to try it. It peels off. Let's see if I can show you. Yeah, there we go. It peels off, and then you stick it onto wherever you want. And then I used, this inexpensive craft paint. I have so many different colors. So I used that. And then these sponge dabbers. I have different sizes of them. I did not clean that one, but anyway. So I use those. Just testing stuff out. This one I did while we were in a car on our way to Chicago on a road trip with my daughter and granddaughter. And I had my trusty watercolor and the fine liner. Okay, this is Andre 3000. It was supposed to be, but it looks nothing like him. But the reference that I used, I do think that I did a nice job on the hat and his clothing. But other than that, it looks nothing like him. This one, this girl had on a pair of boots. They were quite unique, and they had an interesting pattern, and I used that to do this. I used the tempera paint sticks and fine liners. I'm not sure. Something else on here, but I'm not sure what it is. That's why I like to write notes. I didn't write notes on this one. My granddaughter wanted, she pulled up this picture on Pinterest and wanted me to do this. I did this with fine liners and watercolor, I believe. This one I did with woodies. I used woodies, and then I did him first, the duck first. And then I'm like, okay, this page needs something. So I always like to practice with lettering as well. So I added this. And then I just put that little checker border up there, playing off these colors. So I don't know. I kind of like this page. This was another Art by Heather video I did with her. This one I used, I want to say it was gouache. I'm pretty sure it was gouache. Let's see, did I put, oh yes, it was gouache. And this one I used watercolors, woodies, fine liners. I'm not sure what else. I added the text to this, again, practicing with the lettering. This one, I hope I have some videos. What do you call, I think it's called not dot art or squeegee art. I think it's squeegee art, where they put the dots on the paper. I love those videos. They put the paint dots, and then they take something and they scrape it, and it's this beautiful design. Mine did not come out it's definitely a skill. So that was a test that did not work. But that's what a sketchbook is for. Trying things. I really love this. I will put her name up as well. I watched her video. She showed how to make these little faces. She just gave the basics, and then she said, well, now go and make your own, do your own, add your own hairstyles and your own clothing or whatever. So that's what I did, and I really liked the way I did the clothing and the hair. I just like the page. The only thing that I'm not happy about is that they all, and maybe it was the mood I don't know, but they all look sad. That's the only issue that I have. But other than that, I really like this spread. I do. And I use watercolor and fine liners, I believe. I think that's all I use. So for this is again where I took a paper bag and I put it in with a washi tape, and it's with the oil pastels. Okay, this one. So my sister, I have not been yet. I will, but she went to the Louvre and she bought back. She bought me this. Let me pull it out, which I love. Okay, so she bought me back this book. And I'm like looking through it, and I'm like, okay. So let me see if I can find the page. When I saw the page, I'm like, okay, I think I want to do that in gouache. All right, so this is the page. This book is really large, so it's kind of difficult for me to get the entire book on screen. I might insert a picture, but anyway. This was it's like a part of a statue. I think it was a sandstone statue. So this is my version. And yeah. And then this page was, I'm pretty sure this was Woody's. And I think I went around the border with Posca. Okay, so this is really what I consider the last page. You made it. Thank you for sticking with me. But these I use for swatches. So these are technically the last page. Oh, and then also there's a pocket. In the pocket, before I show you the other page, I just have, you know, more photos. And I also have, these are the paintings that I did in that class. So I just have those in there. So those are the things that I have in the pocket back here. In case you want to know what type of sketchbook, this is it. So anyway, back to the last page. Okay. So I love graffiti. And I practice it every now and then, you know, just in my sketchbook, I'll practice it. And so Tiny G, he has a YouTube channel, and I watch him for, like, you know, tutorials. And so first he told us how to, you know, write it out. And so I did that. And then it was funny because he said pick a word. And after I picked the word, then I realized I had washi tape with that on it. So that was cool. Anyway, so after doing this practice, this part, that was the first part of the lesson. Then this is my final work. And I was pretty pleased with myself. I thought it came out pretty well. And so that is the last page of my sketchbook. I thank you so much. Oh, and I did this with, I believe I used Copic markers. I'm pretty sure I used Copic markers for this. And fine liner. Thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate it. And, you know, comment below which one was your favorite. And again, thank you for watching.